In today's video, the Toronto real estate market and the GTA real estate market within 2023 is off to a very slow start, and I'm going to go through some numbers that indicate as such. And furthermore, I'm going to explain as to why it's off to such a slow start. As always, let's get to it. Hello everyone, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty Inc. As always, back with another video for you guys here today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Sam, a Toronto real estate agent. On this channel, we like to discuss all things Toronto and GTA real estate market oriented, market stats, market trends, market facts, building reviews, area analysis, buyer advice, seller advice, tenancy laws, and so much more. So feel free to subscribe if you find this content informative, or get in touch with me if you have any further questions. My contact information, as always, is on the screen and in the description box. So the Toronto real estate market is off to an exceptionally slow start, especially when we compare it to 2022. What do I mean by that? Well, I created this chart which shows the number of sales which have occurred within the first 11 days of 2022 versus the first 11 days of 2023 within the Toronto real estate market. So this is across all areas within the greater Toronto area, accounting for everything from King City to downtown Toronto to Mississauga to Clarington. And it's across all property types. So condos, semi-detached, detached, townhomes. And we see so far in 2023, there have been only 514 sales that have occurred within the first 11 days. Comparing that and contrasting that with 2022, we see that the number falls far short, because in 2022, we saw 1,278 sales. Furthermore, if we're actually going to sit down and assess how many days on average these 514 properties that have sold in 2023 have stayed on the market before successfully selling, we would most likely see a days on market average between 33 to 35. Once again, that's the average. Obviously, some have sold quicker, some have sold, around 90 days. The point here is, within the same period, if we did the same exercise for days on market in 2022, we would probably see days on market as low as 9-11. Before I get into explaining why that is the case and some more context, let me make something very clear. In 2023, the speed at which properties were selling and these amount of sales relative to the inventory available on the market was definitely a very unhealthy market and a unsustainable market. So this is not to say that 2023 things were headed towards the right direction, but because clearly they were not. That was not a sustainable and healthy market, I repeat once again. And currently the market we have is far closer to a moderate market, but it's obviously a much more buyer advantageous market and a very seller disadvantageous market. Now, obviously a lot of people need to sell for life reasons. I just brought on a listing onto the market myself 2 days ago. So there are people that who've purchased years back and for life purposes need to obviously sell and list. And the expectation is in the foreseeable future that listings will go up due to the pressure of higher interest rates, but thus far listings have stayed somewhat on par with last year. If we do the same chart for listing figures, we see that listings across the GTA, the greater Toronto area, for the first full 11 days of 2023 versus 2022 within the GTA real estate market, listings are only up by 300 or so. So what we have here is a situation where listings are up marginally, just inventory is not that much higher, but just a bit higher, yet sales are down substantially. Now, more as to why this is happening. Obviously, last year in 2022, we were dealing with a completely different environment, a very low interest environment. Interest rates were at historical lows. Whereas this year, 2023, we are dealing with the Toronto real estate market and GTA real estate market downturn, and interest rates are much higher than they were last year. To give a little bit more context, for instance, the sales of last year in the same period were only staying on the market, as I aforementioned, for 8 to 9 days, because the market was so vibrant and hot, where out of every 10 listings, 8 to 9 of those listings were priced for bidding, where the property is priced under market value and only really stays on the market for 8 to 9 days anyways, because there's multiple offers flooding in. Whereas in today's market, it's a completely different market. People are still attempting the bidding war strategy. However, it's not really leading to much success for the most part. And out of every 10 listings, 8 to 9 of them are listed around market value or at what the seller or the listing agent seller deems to be market value. And more to the point, the interest rates are causing both both diminished demand and diminished supply. So there's downward pressure on both the supply side and the demand side. This is something you've probably heard me say several times on this channel, and it still holds true, and I think it's going to hold true for the foreseeable future. Buyers are diminished in terms of the demand side of things because due to the higher interest rates, most buyers fall under one of these categories. Number one, either had their borrowing power greatly reduced or completely eliminated because of the higher rates. Number two, maybe they're not as impacted by the higher rates, but they're kind of waiting on the sidelines, trying to time the market perfectly, thinking prices are going to drop even more so they're not really getting actively involved. Or number three, they've locked themselves up in a lease because of the aforementioned reasons. Either one would do. Or number four, a combination of any of those reasons. So that's why we're seeing diminished demand. Once again, there are obviously buyers out there. Once again, there are obviously still buyers out there, but in my experience, the buyers I'm currently working with, not all of them, but most of them are mostly cash buyers. So they're either putting 50% to 100% down for their property. On the supply side, well, supply is obviously also greatly diminished as well. As I showed you, listings have gone up a little bit, but people are not really listing the property. Seeing where the market is headed, a lot of sellers are either trying to weather the storm or thinking the market is going to take a quick turnaround, so they're not really trying to list their property at this current moment in time. Anyways, those are some brief numbers. We're only 11 full days into January 2023. So as we go within the Toronto real estate market in 2023, I'm always going to have the updated facts, stats, and trends. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe, and you can find my contact information in the description box. As always, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you.